I want to do a quick diagnosis of why I believe that conservative and libertarian ideas are dying on the vine, and the weeds of leftist and wokist ideas are taking over our national discourse. The challenge that I see is that conservative and libertarian ethos is generally just leave me alone. Whereas the left believes that they are morally superior and they are collective in their actions, whereas conservatives, libertarians are far more individualistic, and they will just continually hammer away in order to get their ideas implanted into the minds of anybody that they can, because they believe that they are morally correct in doing so, whereas conservatives believe that their ideas are just that. Their ideas, you can believe what you want. Again, leave me alone. It's like having one of those nosy asshole neighbors that just continually complains when you just want to be left alone. They'll call the city on you. They will complain nonstop, and you want nothing to do with them, but eventually you're forced to engage with them. And that is the state that we are at in America today, where the left must confront this growing illiberal, not liberal. This is an illiberal monster that wants to dictate the way that you must behave, that wants to take what they did not earn from you. And this must be confronted. And again, it has to be confronted in not only directly by stating that you cannot continually beat me down. As I begin, you hit that like button, dopamine hit. I swear to God, like button, turn it blue, you get a dopamine hit. It feels so good. Oh my. For example, one of the things that really irks me is the fact that the McCloskeys in St. Louis, when a mob busted down their gate and they stood outside with guns in an effort to say, this is not the house that you want to mess with, there is risk in doing so, and we will protect ourselves with lethal force, the district attorney went after them. This is a classic example of the left ganging up and taking on the individual, which is why that not only that there has to be shown that a demonstration, if you continue to tread on me, we will bite. We will fight back. And as much as I will absolutely, YouTube censors, hear me out, I will 100% decry the violence that took place in the Capitol. And the left is definitely using this as a cudgel to come down on everybody on their free speech, to what is acceptable free speech, to stating that they believe that Trump supporters must be re-educated, re-education camps. It's very 1984-ish. But at least they know that there might be some pushback in the future, that you cannot continually do this without triggering a response from the people that you are continually cudgeling. And the same is true with the McCloskeys that I mentioned a second ago. This will take place more and more, and eventually, I don't want this to come to civil war. But if the left continually does this, then it will. And there has to be some engagement on a civic front that they have to realize that they can no longer do this. Now, I'm not the biggest Donald Trump fan in the world, but I absolutely did support him because he was the dam against wokeism, against this marching leftist dogma that is so prevalent in our country and engulfing us and the minds of young people. And I want to see it stop. So yes, we have to engage. We have to be able to say enough is enough. And like Ben Shapiro, begin your own media company and produce your own narrative that will begin to fight the wokest narrative that they are continually pushing on us and on our brains. And on terms of the media front, this also has to be done because the only thing that people see are CNN and the dogmatic and the absolute propaganda and lies that they push. There are innumerable number of examples, but just one that can be easily taken out is the Fine People hoax that I'm honest Joe Biden stated that he entered the race because of. Donald Trump stated fine people on both sides and then immediately said,
and you had people, and I'm not talking about the neo-Nazis and the white nationalists, because they should be condemned totally. But you had many people in that group other than neo-Nazis and white nationalists, okay?
Yet CNN reports on this, not. It was used as a cudgel, and this is unfortunately what you're dealing with. You are dealing with that neighbor that wants to burn your house down because they disapprove of what you do. They don't like the fact that you have a pool party and a barbecue in your yard and that you seem happy when they're not. So they want to take that right away from you. This is what the left is doing, and eventually you have to confront the neighbor. It cannot be no longer just leave me alone, just go do your own thing. No, you have to state enough is enough, and there has to be a response that they will know that they can no longer tread on you. And hopefully that is one in civics, that we stand there and we say, no, you cannot do this, and also develop the mechanisms like Ben Shapiro in terms of the movies and engaging in the Hollywood aspect of it, in the battle of ideas for the minds of young people and the nation. But again, these are the steps that need to be taken. Otherwise, conservative values will be continued to be hammered against. And because of the nature, the psychological nature of conservatives and libertarian, which is just leave me alone and go do what you want, unfortunately, the other side doesn't play by those rules. So we must be able to accept the fact that the leftists just want total domination over our lives, and they will not stop until it happens. And we have to come into the reality of it and surrender to that reality and then fight against it. When I say surrender, I just mean acknowledge and just embrace reality as it is, not to surrender to a leftist and their ideas, but to fight back against it with the knowledge of what they will continue to do until there is pushback. And let's have that be civic, but there has to be pushback. Peace and blessings. If you're new, subscribe, notification bell, thumb up the video. It gives you a dopamine hit. If you thumb up, you feel good, and you turn that like button blue. Peace out. Have a fantastic day.